The Sports Scouting Report with Lee Burkeen. Brought to you by Medine's Collision Center in Baton Rouge. Take control, choose Medine's. Grosse Savant Lodge, south of Lake Charles, the true sportsman's paradise. Treads and Care Company in Central, the tires you need, the service you want. Harvey Auto in Shreveport, Bossier City, the name you have trusted for years. And Gage in Baton Rouge. Get better connected with Gage. Here's your host, Lee Burkeen.
Hi everyone, I'm Lee Burkeen, host of the Sports Scouting Report podcast. We're here at DiGiulio Brothers Italian Restaurant on Perkins Road, not far from Acadian and LSU. We have a great guest today, Andy Robinson, the head football coach in Monroe, Louisiana at St. Frederick's High School. It's a great Catholic school. Small enrollment, but tough kids, always competing, have great sports programs. We're going to talk to Andy about the program. We're going to talk about the history of the program, and we're also going to talk about his coaching staff and what he thinks of Monroe football and the schedule. It's never easy when you're scheduling a 1 or 2A program or a 3A program. You got Washita Christian, Oak Grove, all the good programs in the area of the Monroe area. It is tough. We'll be right back.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
What does that bug man do?
Not only do we do pest control, we do odor control, bat removal, moisture control, rodents, and of course, bed bug control. Give the bug man a call. We get them before they get you.
Welcome back, Lee Burkeen, host of the Sports Scouting Report podcast. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube if you're an old school guy like myself, 38 and older. Just hit the subscribe button. It's free. It's free. You get all the shows every week. We do 2 a week. We're about to start up and do 3 a week. I'm going to do the radio version again pretty soon. Moving forward, we'll have coaches call in and we'll do that as well. But I want to go ahead and recognize our guest today, Andy Robinson, the head coach, who does a great job at St. Frederick's. Been coaching a long time. Coach, appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Monroe, Louisiana. How's everything in Monroe?
Oh, it's going good. Springtime in a small school. A lot of your athletes participating in multiple sports and
sharing them. And
having a junior high on campus is a different dynamic also. But, there's an event every day if you want to find something to attend or a game or a track meet, a tennis match, a golf match, and it keeps you busy. But it's a fun time of year as we transition into spring football and in our summer workouts.
Grades 7 to 12, right?
Yeah, 7 through 12, junior high.
That's a good thing for you.
Can be at times. It definitely has its challenges as kids transition, from elementary level into junior high, and then junior high into high school brings a little different dynamic. But, small school setting where you get to spend a lot of time with those kids,
yeah.
I think that's a huge advantage. That's something that I've learned as you come through your program. It's very important to spend that time, and it definitely gives us an advantage to do that.
Even if an 8th grader doesn't play varsity, you can put him out there and get him ready. Right.
You can. We are one school with one principal, so it allows us to do some different things. Fortunately, our enrollment has increased over the last couple of years, so we should be able to get away from that as our classes continue to grow. But really, it was a need when I got there to fill JV teams and to be able to allow the other kids to develop. But we're definitely getting to a point now where we're going to be able to cut back on that, and I think that'll help our programs out as well.
Andy, you've been coaching for a long time. I'm gonna brag on you. We made sure, and you made sure it was all right in years and everything. But you started way back, Louisiana Tech, recruiting coordinator, 2005, linebackers coach, outside linebackers coach.
Outside, yeah.
You got middle linebackers, Mike's. Kilgore, Texas, Mike Valerie, man, what a great guy. Head coach, you coached with him at Kilgore, great school in 2006. In 2009, Washita, a lot of talent. You were with John Carr. Gotta love John Carr and Jeff Fitzgerald, who did a great job from Alexandria High School. And Jeff's, I think, a principal now.
He's actually works with the FCA in Northeast Louisiana. Okay. So he got out of administration, got out of coaching. He's the FCA director for our region.
And then Jared Ball, who stayed after his show to watch your show. You were with him in 2015 at Ruston High School, offensive coordinator.
Yeah, loved every minute of it. Was very fortunate to go to Ruston and get over there with Coach Ball and really learned a lot in a short amount of time. Wish I'd been there with him 10 years earlier, but it was a great experience. And, I guess Puka put us out of the playoffs there. And that was probably the worst night we ever had there. But other than that, it was a great experience, great school, great community.
Puka did that to a lot of people, Coach.
Yeah, it was good, man. He lived up to the hype that night. And, the game really came down to the end. And I think we felt like whoever could get through that one would have a chance to play in the championship. But it was a great high school game with some really good players and guys that make it to the NFL, and you lose to those guys, it happens.
I didn't know this, but your wife, Ashley, was Miss Basketball in 1999?
Yeah, she's a little ahead of me on some things.
I got to give her some promotions here.
She played at Louisiana Tech when I was there.
Okay.
She's from Anacoco, won several championships there.
Non-football school.
Yeah, non-football school, that's correct. So I've kind of transitioned her into that part of it with having some sons and being around a football coach. She's definitely learned a lot, and she's moving in the right direction.
Both Texters, because you were at Tech as a coach.
We refer to Bulldogs for the males. We're not the Texters, but the women are referred to as the Lady Texters. Yeah. And when you come into those programs, that was a big shadow for years that could get crossed up. But
I got to mention this before I forget and get ADD. But your son, you told me, your son is a huge LSU baseball fan.
My youngest son,
I don't mean
Ryder,
to make Tech people mad.
No, he's got some aunts and uncles that live down here that are putting some stuff in his mind at a young age, and he enjoys coming down here to the ball game. So any chance we get down here to see a ball game, I make sure he has the opportunity to do it, and he seems to like that.
Leon Barmore signed your wife at Louisiana Tech.
Yeah.
Big time. He was the best coach in the country for like a decade.
With
Kim Mulkey and all the great players.
He was a great coach with some great assistants, and I think it gave her a great opportunity academically and athletically to get involved in a great program. And then obviously there's several. Christy Curry, a couple of those assistants had gone on. Her former teammate Brooke Laster is the head coach now. So she made a lot of great connections that worked out well for her.
And look, you wrote this right before we started, but your wife's sister, Katie, played basketball at LSU?
Yep.
This just keeps going on.
Yeah,
and on,
I know. She went to Vanderbilt and then transferred back to LSU, was on their last Final Four team, I think, with the group they had with Pokey, and now she lives here in Baton Rouge.
And who's in the LHSA Hall of Fame in 2020?
My wife and her sister, and then my mother-in-law was also inducted into the LHSA Hall of Fame. So
you got a lot of pressure on you to get to the Hall of Fame now, huh?
They know what winning looks like, and they remind me of that from time to time. And we don't get in any ring contests because I'm way behind as far as those things are concerned.
We got to mention that for the family. I know your wife will get a kick out of that, and her
sister.
And your son at 10 years old is getting. Tell everybody your son's name.
Ryder. Ryder's my younger son.
Ryder's getting a little pub today, and hopefully y'all can make that game tomorrow.
We hope so.
Against Grambling.
Weather allow it. Yep, that's right. So.
Which is not. It's a rock throw from Ruston.
Yeah.
Get a chance to see Grambling play LSU here. Yeah. Coach, you do a great job, and I want to mention your staff: Scott Lee, David Robinson, Jimmy Rushworth, Ronnie. How do you say it?
Ronnie
Lazuza, Steele Boudreaux, and the legendary Billy Bell.
Yeah.
52nd year, you told me?
I believe it's 52nd season coming up
that's
in high school.
I can't even
football.
wrap that around my head, Coach.
Yeah, we've just been doing it a long time. Coach Bell's coached at multiple programs. He's coached at West Monroe High School, coached at Spring Hill.
Still got a flip phone.
Still has a flip phone that works. He's also spent some time in Longview, Texas. So very fortunate to have him there. He was in place there when I took the job, and definitely been excited that he stayed around.
I went on the internet and I saw that Billy was a grad assistant for Earl Bruce at Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm not sure of that. I'll have to check the records on that when we get back. But
Billy, let me know.
He's been around a long time, and he's touched a lot of kids and coaches, and there's a lot of stories that people can sit around and tell about Coach Bell and the good things he's done.
Billy, call me on your flip phone. I can't text you because it won't come up on a flip phone. My dad has a flip phone, and you can't even get a picture on a flip phone. But Kerry Merritt is your linebacker coach. Jacob Armand is your D-line coach, and Glenn Ellis.
Yep.
Wow. Wide receiver coach.
Yep. They all do a good job for us. private schools and smaller schools, you have to find, guys that fit to what you do and fit the jobs that you have. And just very fortunate to have some guys that's been at different places with a lot of experience that don't have an agenda to sit in my seat, but just want to coach and make a program better. And I really appreciate having those guys with us at St. Frederick.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to ask Andy Robinson, where does this toughness come from? Because I watched your team in 221. That was a tough team, and 222 was a good team, but just very tough guys. Same 10, 11 guys mostly play both sides of the ball, even special teams. And I don't know how they do it, but they've got energy. And you got to watch these kids play at St. Frederick's. We're going to talk about some of the guys coming back. We're going to have highlights of some of them as well. And we're going to eat some garlic bread before we come back. We'll be right back.
Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life. Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
Welcome back. Lee Burkeen, your host of Sports Scouting Report podcast. Go on and subscribe. It's free. If you're old school like me, it's free. Just hit the subscribe button. A lot of you are like, where is it at? It's right by the YouTube button to the right. Help us grow. Hope you're enjoying the show with Coach Andy Robinson from St. Frederick's High School, the only Catholic high school in Monroe. There's only two within, an hour and a half? Menard?
Holy Savior Menard and Alexandria, Loyola College Prep in Shreveport, and then St. Frederick's in Monroe. Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, little triangle there.
Grades 7 to 12 at St. Frederick's if you're interested in enrolling your kid into the school. Yeah. If you're watching this in Mississippi or Texas or Alabama, we even have some New Yorkers that watch, Coach.
Yeah.
Existence, the school started in 1964, and I want a notable alumni. Chase Coleman played Billy Winslow in the HBO TV series Boardwalk Empire, and Oliver in the CW spinoff The Originals. I know nothing about that, but I'm sure you probably do.
I haven't watched the show, and I haven't met the young man that you're speaking of, but I may need to dig into that and see what all that's about.
I need to watch something else. I'm too football like you guys. I don't know. I fish sometimes. Also, Roger Carr, former head coach. I watched him growing up for the Baltimore Colts with Burt Jones from Ruston High School. I remember Curtis Dickey getting in an argument with Burt in a game, and Roger Carr split them up. But Roger Carr had great hands. I don't know if he had stick 'em or not, but he played from 74 to 83 in the NFL and was all pro. Like I said, Burt Jones was his quarterback, and Roger Carr from Cotton Valley, you said, Coach?
Yeah, I believe that's where he's from, Cotton Valley. And like I said, I coached with his son, John, at Washita for a while. So I've been fortunate to know Coach Carr for a long time. And I know, they were happy with his stint at St. Frederick.
I want to talk about your team. You lost some guys, and even though it's just three's like 9 in 1A, right, Coach?
Well, we're trying to get away from that, but sometimes those guys make a big impact on both sides of the ball.
But 3 means 6.
Yeah, it definitely do that. We only had 5 seniors this year with a 48-man roster, so there weren't a lot of seniors, but every guy definitely left a fingerprint on the program and what they were doing.
Michael Thompson is graduating this year, running back. Kendall Crosby did a great job for you, linebacker. And I know there's other positions they played. Micah Bell was a running back, was a quarterback for you.
Mm-hmm.
Played some defense.
Yeah, he definitely played. There's times in the game where you try to get your best 11 guys on the field, and we have to be strategic how we practice to prepare those guys to do that. But definitely later in the year as you go with special teams and get into the playoffs, you want your best 11 guys on the field, and sometimes they play multiple positions to do that.
Andy, we're going to show highlights of you guys the next segment, but I want to end this segment asking you, because a lot of South Louisiana people get the show, and Houma and St. Tammany and New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette. People in Monroe know this already what I'm going to ask you. But being a coach mostly in the Monroe area, most of your career, what is it about small schools in Monroe in the metro area and why they're so powerful every year, like Oak Grove, Ouachita Christian, your school? I mean, there are no weak small schools. It's like if you say the word small school in Monroe or West Monroe, you don't want to play them.
Well, there's some respect there in those classes, and I think those programs have earned that. I think the consistency over time, when you speak about programs, I think at the private schools, the dynamics of having head coaches in place over time, having administration in place over time definitely provides some stability and allows the program to grow. Coach Fitzhugh, I think, has been there for 26 years, so he's got a 20-year head start on me. I tell him all the time. Obviously, Oak Grove speaks for itself. Coach Dalrymple was there a long time and definitely put those roots deep in that community, but even started before him. So we have been fortunate to have some of those champions we played in that district were 2 state champions that come out of the same district. Sterlington's always a power in the 3A classification. But I think the kids grow up competitive in the area. I think there's a lot of youth programs that allow them to compete. Obviously, those programs continue to grow. Kids are traveling a little more, but I think there's always been some talent in the area. We do have some bigger schools. We don't have as many 4A and 5A schools in our area. So a lot of that talent is spread through the 1A, 2A, and 3A level and allows those kids opportunities to play and to play for the same championships that the bigger schools play for.
You know what I love too, Coach? I'm an old school coach. I know Coach Ball will probably agree with me. Most of these schools don't throw the ball a lot. It's a grind, smash mouth. You know, watching Sterlington's running back line up 18 miles behind the quarterback is crazy. In your school, I mean, y'all like to pound it.
Well,
you know, Ouachita Christian.
There's different matchups that dictate the game and the plan that you want to do. But you know, when you have guys playing on both sides of the ball, you better make sure you're consistent. You better make sure there's things there you can hang your hat on, so to speak. And you better, you don't have as much time to prepare throughout the week. You better make sure your foundation's set. And there's a time in a ball game where you're going to have to go back to that foundation. That's something that I've taken from Coach Ball. And a lot of times that starts under center and turn around and hand the ball off. So I think that's why you see those things. I think teams can play great defense, find a way to score on offense and create some explosive plays, and it ends up being successful for their program.
Just my opinion, watching football statewide, Coach, that's why I think North Louisiana teams advance in the playoffs, because when they go smash mouth, you can shut down the 4 or 5 wide trips left, trips right. But, man, when they're coming right at you, you're not used to it. It's difficult to stop.
If you can't stop it, it's a bad feeling.
It's a bad feeling
as a coach, and if they can't stop you, it's a really good feeling. But we play outside. The only games that are inside is that championship game, and I haven't played in that, so I can't tell you what that's like. But I know conditions can change and field conditions can change, and you better be prepared for that, especially late in the year in Louisiana.
And all respect to the high classifications in the Monroe area: Ruston, Neville, West Monroe, Ouachita, Richwood, Wassman. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I think I covered most of them. But all big-time linemen, big-time talent, big-time coaches in the area of the Monroe area. And if you get outside the area, Rayville, Bastrop, Mangum's another one. It's just endless. I don't know if I could be a coach in North Louisiana. I wouldn't sleep at night, Coach. But y'all do a great job. We're going to be right back. I'm going to have highlights of your players. Coach has a lot of young kids. One of them is his son, who's the quarterback. We'll be right back.
What does that bug man do?
Not only do we do pest control, we do odor control, bat removal, moisture control, rodents, and of course, bed bug control. Give the bug man a call. We get them before they get you.
Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life.
Welcome back. You're watching the Sports Scouting Report podcast. I'm your host, Lee Burkeen. Our guest is Andy Robinson, the head coach of St. Frederick's and Monroe Catholic School, grades 7 to 12. You can enroll your kids early. this segment, we're going to talk about, Coach, some of your top guys, and you got some young guys. I actually saw these guys play for you last year and one the year before. But we're going to run some highlights of Montrell Connor. And if that name sounds familiar to people who love football, I watched his dad play at Ouachita.
Correct.
Daddy was 6'2", 210.
Yeah.
What do you think of Montrell Connor? Here's some highlights of Montrell.
I think he's a very dynamic player. Montrell came to us as an 8th grader. He wasn't eligible till week 8 of the regular season last year, so he didn't get to play in a lot of varsity games, but kind of plugged in right away. Started at corner and played some receiver, also played some quarterback. Just a dynamic athlete, a lot of pure speed. He's a track kid, competed in Junior Olympics, competed in indoor this past winter, and had a good indoor season. I think he got second in the 60-meter hurdle in the state in our division. A lot of track people know that name out there, and we're excited about going through springtime with him. He'll start as our quarterback, and we'll kind of build some things from there. And he's just a really intelligent kid, makes really good grades, and handles himself really well.
Good to see him maybe get his dad's height and weight. His daddy's a big old boy.
Dad's a big fella, that's for sure, and he's growing. He's not a holdback kid. He's a true. Kind of 9th grader that's 14, 15 years old, and he'll progress through high school.
Another kid I got to see play for you early on, heck of an athlete, William Patrick. Here's some highlights of William: receiver, safety, all-state last year, long jump, 23 feet as a freshman. Offers from ULM and Northwestern State in football and baseball.
Yeah, William's just a dynamic athlete, about 6'2", 190-pound kid. Hopefully he'll get around 200 pounds before he's through, but really explosive, can do a lot of things. He's ranked probably top 10 in his class in the baseball class also, but I think he's an SEC-type talent in football that can do multiple positions, and I think he's going to get a lot of attention this spring when these guys start to get out, and hopefully they'll come by and see what they like with William.
You remember Still Westheimer that played at Calvary Baptist?
I do, yeah.
His daddy's stepdad, Bub Alexander, the coordinator.
Yep.
Looks just like him.
I think they do have a lot of the same physical traits.
Craig Stelz played at LSU.
And he plays, and just been a pleasure to coach. Great kid that's going to have a lot of opportunities, which whatever he chooses to do. Right now he wants to play both. But those things can evolve and change, and we're definitely excited to have William with us.
For people that don't know that Still Westheimer, he made All-American at Air Force twice. D1, and LSU didn't offer him. This just goes to show you, he left at 180. He finished at 220, 6'2", safety.
Yeah.
Still, what a name, Still Westheimer. His stepdad, Bob Alexander, one of the great coaches of all time, at Evangel Christian right now. And the last guy we're going to show, his last name is Robinson, and it's your son, Parker, quarterback. We got some highlights of Parker. First team All-District in basketball as an 8th grader, keeping that pedigree going in basketball in the family. Yeah. But what do you think of your son, Parker, who's 227 grad?
Yeah, he's got a long way to go. Kind of excited and nervous to coach him at the same time. Definitely talked to a lot of guys that's coached their sons. A lot of them haven't wanted him to play the quarterback position. He plays some quarterback for us. He can play defensive end and do some other things as well. But it should be a good experience for us. I'm pretty sure his mom's gonna pick a side there, and I'm gonna have to come home and make sure everybody's happy. But I'm excited to see what he grows into and what he develops. And he's a hard worker. Like I said, handling himself in the classroom, and we'll see. You see where the road goes.
And he's 6'2" right now.
Yeah, he's about 6'2".
Not bad for his
got
age.
a little length and can do some different things. So.
I want to talk about some of your other players, Coach. We don't have highlights, but some of your other starters. I want to make sure I say this name right. Sam
Police Simeon is a defensive tackle for us, going to a junior. And a lot of these guys we talk about, we're kind of forced to play as freshmen. And probably wasn't fair to them, but at the same time they went to the semifinals in football, and last year made another run as sophomores in the second round, and so really expecting those guys to grow up this summer and be able to give us a little more production. But the body types that we have are probably different now, and I think this is the first time Coach Bell said in the history every lineman in the program is over 200 pounds. So the names that you're going to bring up can kind of reflect some of that, but Sam Police is definitely a guy that we look for a big year out of him.
I saw this kid play for you as a freshman, Vassar Day, 6'4". 235, 240.
Vassar's got a lot of length. He's a legit 6'4", 6'5" kid. He started at center every game for us the last 3 years. Probably could transition out to tackle, play some guard. He's going to get an opportunity to play at the next level. His dad, Travis, played at West Virginia, so he has some bloodlines in there. But just a well-rounded kid that's played a lot of football for us.
Going to blossom probably a senior year and be a little heavier. You got MJ Dade, a running back, 226. Garrett Taylor, 224, athlete. Kenny Cooper, big kid, 2024. I guess his brother or cousin, Daryl Cooper.
It's his little brother,
Little brother.
Daryl actually started 4 games at defensive
Is an
line
eighth grader?
for us last year as an 8th grader.
Oh.
So he'll be a name that you'll want to keep up with.
One of your best linemen, not your biggest guy, 6 foot, 200 pounds, Aaron Parker.
Yeah, Aaron's just an explosive guy. We just tested. He's around a 35-inch vertical leap. Just explosive with a lot of straight line speed. That he's going to have to play a lot of football for us this year, and hopefully he can stay healthy to do that.
Probably need him at linebacker, but you need him at DN for the team. Caden Miller, 225 guy, receiver. And here's a couple of guys we got to mention. Eli Carr, who's been playing for you for a long time, O-lineman.
Eli Carr and A.J. Jacola, I think, is another name that you probably mentioned there. Been fortunate this year. All of our linemen are returning. Those guys were starting as freshmen, and they're transitioning to our junior year, and then Vassar Day, like I said, as a senior. So. And
also your linebacker for 225, A.J.
Yeah, A.J. Melna is a kid that was all district for us last year, started as a sophomore in there. So we're expecting another year that he's got his feet on the ground, and he'll continue to develop for us, hopefully, and stay healthy. That's going to be the key for us. You mentioned guys playing both sides and not having a ton of numbers, but you want to keep those guys healthy, because if you lose one, it's like losing 2 or 3. So we hopefully will have a little more depth, and we're excited about that team.
Coach, we got a minute left, but who's going to be your punter and kicker?
Garrett Taylor, probably. We have a soccer program, and a lot of those kids transition. A few of those guys you mentioned are 4-sport lettermen at our school, so they stay busy throughout the year. But we do have a good soccer program, and it produces pretty good kickers. But Garrett Taylor's a guy that can probably handle those duties. William Patrick punted for us last year, so both of those guys are capable of handling that, and we should be a little better on special teams.
Any final words or thoughts you want to give a shout out to anybody for your coaching career, getting you that had an impact on you where you are today?
Yeah, well, I think it starts with my dad, coaching high school football for 27 years, and growing up in Delhi, and watching him and his network of friends, and seeing how they handle things, and then obviously transitioning to college. Jack Bignell was the guy that gave me my first job.
I love Jack.
And going over and have the influence of Mike Valerie, and then coming back with a guy like John Carr, and then being fortunate to work with Coach Ball at Ruston. Just been really fortunate to be in some good situations with some really good coaches. Have tried to take something from every one of them and implement what we do, and just been very blessed with that. And hopefully we'll continue that and keep trying to pursue these championships.
I'm going to throw a name out that you would know, but every time I think of Delhi, the greatest player I ever saw play was LeMay Thomas. Yeah. He went to Ole Miss, was a receiver, and had his best game against LSU 2 years in a row.
Yeah, that was my childhood hero. He played for my dad.
Yeah, you knew him?
He set the single-season reception record for them at the time. I think he caught 72 balls
Unbelievable.
1 year. But he was a big-time talent. Graduated same year as Ramon Malcolm, was in that dirty dozen with some of those guys in '89 and or '90, and went on to have a great college career. So
LeMay was one of them true 4.4s, huh, Coach?
Yeah, 10.2 600 meter. So
wow.
Yeah,
Coach, appreciate you coming down from Monroe and all the great success you've had, and hopefully we can get you in that dome, man, real soon, and y'all are close.
That's the plan. So thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach. Andy Robinson, St. Frederick's, joined us today, and be sure again to subscribe. Go wherever you get your podcasts. We're on Podbean, Twitter, hit all the social media. And if you have anything, or if you have complaints, or you have any ideas, email me at elbrakeen@aol.com. If you have any questions for me. If I left you out, let me know. We'll talk about it on another show. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brakeen.